My left ear just started ringing when I was trying to adjust the camera. Happy Friday. Happy December 12th, 2025. Today is 12/12 energy. Happy Friday night. I hope everybody's had a peaceful, positive, and productive day today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that. I also pray that He clothes us in His armor from head to toe, that He strengthens our discernment and guides our steps as we go throughout our days. All right, we're going to get a daily mantra, then we'll get into our affirmations. It is approximately 11 p.m. local time. I don't know exactly what time it is. It's a little after 11. All right, make like a plant and grow toward the light. Flower and repeat. So grow, expand your mind, expand your world, embrace opportunities to grow, find new sources of light to be attracted to. All right, now we'll get a grief affirmation. I got the radio going in the background, got the sage in. I already saged the apartment. Whoa. We have less than 2 weeks until Christmas. Today on the calendar, today we are in Libra. Okay, we may not get one of these. There we go. We never lose the ones we love, even to death. They carry on in every thought, act, and decision we make. We've seen that one several times. We talk about that a lot, about our ancestors, our passed over loved ones, embracing the memories, embracing the things that they taught us, and continuing to do those things in our lives creates that connection, and it's our way of remembering them. All right, now we're going to get a chakra wisdom affirmation. It says orientation is locked. Okay, we may have to do some adjusting here. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work or not. It said it was locked. That might have been what was causing the issues. But I don't think it did that last time. I don't really like that angle. All right, we're going to keep it like that. I don't like it up and down. We'll try. I don't know if that's going to affect... I can't see your comments anyway, so that doesn't really matter, but okay. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, I kind of got hung up on that for a minute. All right, chakra wisdom affirmation. All right, so our mantra, make like a plant and grow toward the light, flower and repeat. growing. Look at that. The warrior flipped over. It didn't come out, but we just got that the other day. Third chakra. All right. Allowing yourself. I'm hearing, like, I'm thinking of the quote from Shrek where he's talking about how ogres are like onions and peeling back the layers. Peeling back the layers of self, letting those petals open like a flower. All right, seventh chakra, crown chakra, grace. Having grace for yourself, accepting grace from the Most High, offering grace to other people. The grace of a higher power is with me, and I move through life knowing this truth. I believe in a higher power, and I know that it is within and around me, offering assistance and guidance. I surrender all my fears and burdens to a higher power. I am open to receive grace, and I trust in a higher power. I am worthy. We are all worthy of grace, which means not only ourselves, but other people. All right, now we'll get a wild offering affirmation. I hope everybody is having a good day, has had a good day, is having an enjoyable evening. I hope everybody's being safe. I'm sure a lot of people are getting together, having holiday celebrations. Like I said before, we're less than 2 weeks away from Christmas. So, if you are celebrating the holidays, please be safe, enjoy that time, and just soak it up and embrace those moments, because we never know when will be our last time. And whether that's a holiday, a birthday, just a regular day. None of us ever know when our last moment is going to be. So embrace those opportunities when you get them. But also remember that not everybody has those opportunities available anymore. So have grace. Share that grace with other people, but also be willing. Know that self-grace, one form of that is allowing yourself to grow and learn and bloom. Aging is what we got. We got direction on the top of the deck and forgiveness on the bottom of the deck. Obviously, forgiving others, but self-forgiveness for a lot of people is the hardest part. Loving yourself enough to heal and release so that you can forgive. That came up in the last pull we did. All right, aging. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine. We talked about that last time too, about your temple, loving your temple, taking care of your temple. All right, then we got direction. Lord, please show me the right action right now. Please bring a sign and a miracle that gives clear direction. May I hear the promptings of my own body. And if for some reason I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. I always think about practicing the pause when I see that card. Anytime you're about to make a big decision or just make a big move in your life in some way, shape, or form, it's very important. And I mean, even smaller decisions, not just the big decisions, but it's important to practice the pause and, take those few minutes to really think and process the choice that you're making. Because once you make it, you can't go back, whether it's words spoken, actions taken. Once it's done, it's done. You can't undo it. All right, then we got forgiveness. Healing comes from acceptance. Help me, dear divine, to fully accept what is, knowing that this alone will open me to the new. Knowing that in most cases, to receive something new, you have to let go of something old to make room for whatever that new thing is. All right, now we're going to pull from the mindfulness deck. Tears are squeezed out of the heart when it is crushed by pain. That's what we got last time. Last time we talked about allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions need to be felt. Allow yourself to express them, whether that's physically, by writing them down, speaking them, even just practicing some kind of release, maybe even cord cutting. And okay, when we talk about stuff like cord cutting, you can interpret that as a physical action, but you can also interpret that as a psychological action. Imagining it spiritually going through the steps, not necessarily literally cutting a cord. I am afraid it's getting too smoky in here from the sage, and I'm afraid it's going to set off the smoke detector. Let me go crack a window real quick. Technically, you're supposed to have a window open when you're cleansing anyways, so my bad. I forgot to do that. All right, now here's hoping the smoke detector doesn't go off. All right, mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness, being in the present, remembering what we learned from the Mary Magdalene Oracle, where all it takes 3 intentional breaths to bring you back to the present moment. Taking that time to pause, to breathe, to focus. All right, remember, this too will pass in time. I just said that to somebody tonight at work. And that's not something that I say very often. I hear it a lot, but I don't really say it a lot. But I said that to a woman tonight at work. Close your eyes and observe what breathing does to your body. Breathing rocks your body and expands the abdominal and chest area. Also, notice how each inhale brings in new life and each exhale takes away all that which you no longer need. You receive and let go time after time. Each breath takes its own time. Next, there comes a new breath and a new moment in time. Wow. The same applies to all things in life. Though some events and things may last longer than a single breath, they too will pass in time. Going back to what I talked about at the beginning, about embracing the time that we have, whether that's just generally in life or if we're referring to, spending time with loved ones. All right, let me put this deck up. So if we were to look at this in like the, the new year is right around the corner type thing, between what came up last time and what's coming up this time, preparing for the release so that you're ready for it, you're prepared for it, and having that kind of rest in between when we're talking about the winter time and the hibernation, and really taking this time to do kind of a self-evaluation. There you go. That's what I was trying to get out. Because this is winter time. If you follow the seasons, winter time is not the time to start new things. It's a time to gather, assess, get a plan together. That way when spring comes, you know, all your horses are saddled and ready to go. All right, now we're going to pull from the Forest Spirit Oracle. This is the newest deck that we've added to the collection. And I can't get used to the fact that I have my little cats up here now to hold my cards. I keep forgetting they're up there. All right. Forest Spirit Oracle. And I haven't said it in a while, but all the decks that I use, I get from Amazon. So that's where you can find them. Bluebird, Dragon, and Grasshopper. Squirrel on the bottom of the deck. Fire element on the top of the deck. Ignite change. Fast moves. All right, so the one that actually flipped over was Grasshopper. Research challenge. Be brave enough to take risks and try. To exercise your agile reaction ability and versatile skills. Research challenge. Then we got Dragon, which is guardian energy. Tap into your untamed spirit to conquer obstacles and defend what is dear to you. Tap into your untamed spirit to conquer obstacles. And then Bluebird, good news. Let this message of hope inspire you to keep going and lend your support to others. The Bluebird always makes me think of that song, Bluebird on My Shoulder. It's from a kids movie from I think it was like the early 80s. Maybe even late 70s. But every time I think of a Bluebird, I think of that song. It's like an animated video that's online. I've looked it up on YouTube before. All right, now we'll pull from Angels of Abundance. Last time we got unlimited ideas and cooperation instead of competition. Looking at other people as allies instead of enemies. Research challenge. Maybe like a team project or just expanding your abilities and skills. You know, that would be a good thing to do while in hibernation mode this winter. Learning a new skill, starting a new hobby. Face your financial fears. We have employment change on the bottom of the deck and abundance mindset on the top of the deck. When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. So kind of going with the forgiveness direction and aging, and also going back to what we were talking about releasing the emotions, being honest with yourself about them and allowing yourself to face them head on. All right, then you got employment change. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. So, kind of going back to what I was talking about with the teamwork, you know, and the cooperation instead of competition. It could even be something like a side project, like a side hustle of some kind. All right. And then abundance mindset. If you think of your abundance as something that happens in the future, then it will always be one day away from you. See, feel, think, and speak of abundance as something you already have in the present moment. That is what you will experience. So I'm kind of getting like attitude of gratitude energy from that. Look how she's all lit up. Look how her chakras and her aura is all lit up in that picture. All right. Now we'll pull from the Namaste Stress Less deck. Last time we got let it out. Let it out. Whatever those emotions are, whatever those, maybe it's something that, like beef with another person. It doesn't necessarily, obviously a lot of times it is. It's inner work that we need to do, stuff we need to work on, but in some cases it could be, a relationship that needs mending. Maybe that's where the forgiveness comes in. Aging, getting older, maturing, being able to see things from a higher perspective. Getting to a point in your life where you no longer take things so personally, and, maybe even be able to look back and take accountability for the role that you played. We all play a role when things happen in our lives, whether we made the choices to cause something to happen or we just sat back and let it happen. Breathe in the moment is what we got. Relax your eyes and breathe in and out normally. Our mindfulness card is also talking about breath work. Pay attention to your breathing as if it were a captivating story. What part of your body is doing the breathing? Is it your diaphragm, your chest, or your whole body? How rapid is your breathing? Are your breaths quick or drawn out? Do you find it difficult to breathe? Is there any pain in your breath? Assess everything you can about your breath. After, breathe intentionally for 8 minutes. Just by acknowledging your breaths, you give yourself more life and value. This will also allow your mind and body to relax, for the focus is now on the breath and nothing else. So not only being aware of your breathing, taking time out to meditate, to focus on your breathing, and to analyze the condition of your body as you're doing that. Really taking the time to listen to your body. Going back to the aging card that we saw with the Wild Offering Oracle. All right, now we'll pull from the angel numbers. Last time we got 11, which is patience. 504, one day at a time. And 000, reflect. So, we saw the this too shall pass. That's that same one day at a time energy. Then we got 1212 on the bottom of the deck, choices as we're getting started. Today is 1212, and we saw that last time. It didn't actually come out last time, but we saw it and we talked about it. So we're going to keep that out. We got 1414 behind that. Ignite your spark. Find your spark again. 22, stick to it. A lot of 2 energy. 2 is feminine energy. Odd numbers are masculine. Even numbers are feminine. If you break 12 down, that's 6 energy. Choices, decisions, stability, caution, focus, future, priorities, clarity. The universe advises you to act with caution. It is important not to pursue all your ideas at once. What did I already say about not starting anything new right now? Instead, make a choice and focus on the option that will provide more stability for your life or for your future. What choices do I need to make now, and which option will offer the most stability and long-term benefit? Take time to evaluate your options carefully. What have we already been talking about? List the potential benefits and risks of each choice and choose the one that aligns best with your long-term goals and provides the most stability. So taking time to really think about choices that you're making. Remembering that now is not the time to make big life-changing decisions. I mean, obviously, there's times in life when decisions have to be made. But if you can avoid it right now, that's great. 1818, meant for success. Look at that. 22 showed itself again. Stick to it. And look at that. Reflect. We just put that back in there. 000. So 1818, meant for success. If you break that down, that's a 9 and a 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, which breaks down to a 9. So that's 9 energy. And then you got 8 energy with the 22. All right, so meant for success. Success, purpose, change, prosperity, life path, and transformation. A major change is coming, and while it may feel disruptive, it's guiding you towards success. Embrace this shift as it will lead to your purpose and financial prosperity. Soon, the reasons for this change will become clear, revealing your true path. What changes are you facing? How can you embrace them to align with success? Prepare yourself for upcoming changes by setting clear goals and staying focused on your purpose. Embrace the shifts as opportunities for growth and success, and be open to discovering new paths. What did I say back at the very beginning about being willing to let go of the old to make room for the new, but also understanding that there's always that in between? The in between of what was and what will be. All right, then 22, stick to it. Persistence, patience, progress, steadfast, goal, manifestation, and preparation. What did I talk about? About it being winter, about hibernating, about preparing for spring, preparing for the new, using the transition time to get yourself ready for what's to come. Choose a path and stick to it, making slow and steady progress. This card signifies the need for patience and consistent effort while working toward a significant goal or manifestation. Ensure that all aspects of your plan are organized and aligned. What path am I currently following, and how can I stay committed and make steady progress toward my goal? Review your current plans and ensure everything is in order. Take one actionable step today toward your goal and commit to making consistent progress, no matter how small. We talk about it all the time. Making baby steps is better than not taking any steps. Setting those smaller goals and accomplishing those smaller goals in order to get to the bigger goal. Breaking it down into those smaller goals not only helps you be more organized and what's the word I'm looking for? Prepared, but also accomplishing those smaller goals gives you those little confidence boost, which gives you the courage or faith or hope or self-esteem to be able to keep going. And then acknowledging those goals when you meet them. You know, even if you don't necessarily celebrate with anyone outside of you, celebrating those small little achievements for yourself. All right, now we're going to pull from the Celestial Insights. Last time we got Spirit, Openness, Moment, and Link Attract. Something that's been in my head a lot these last couple days is the Hunger Games, the movies. And because I guess it was last weekend, I watched them, like all of them, for the first time. I had seen the first one like a couple years ago, but I had never seen any of the rest of them. And so they're on YouTube right now for free. And so I binge watched all of them. And it is amazing the way they are literally showing us what's going to happen. And we look at it as entertainment. We don't look at it as in, hey, this is what they're going to do to us. It's scary that so many people are so oblivious to what's happening. All right, we have Accept is what came out. Cupid Deep Challenge on the bottom of the deck. And Allure Cherish on the top of the deck. Also, we can see Inspiration on the bottom of the deck with a light bulb. That kind of goes back to what pulled with the Angel of Abundance deck last time, the Unlimited Ideas. But also, I don't remember what it was where we read where it was talking about our light. You know, being that inspiration to other people. All right, and then Open This Moment, which is one that we just put back in there, showing itself again. Okay, my sage has stopped smoking. I'm going to go close my window because it's getting cold in here. It's cold outside. It's definitely not the time of year to be leaving your windows up. Okay. All right. So the one that actually flipped out was Accept. Accepting things as they are can be a powerful step forward. You may be resisting changes lately. Let go of control and you'll discover peace and new opportunities in the present moment. Once again, talking about the present moment, being in the present, not letting the ways of this world, the people that are of the world, steal your joy, steal your peace, steal your focus. Don't let it distract you. Accept things and people as they are. Let go of control. Let go of feeling responsible for other people or their opinions or their emotions. The only person you can be responsible for is yourself. And of course, your children, depending on their age. All right, and then we got Cupid Deep Challenge was on the bottom of the deck. Challenges in love are testing you. Are you facing difficulties in a relationship? Don't shy away. Facing these challenges head on will strengthen your bond. This could also be talking about self love. Are you experiencing some kind of shame or regret or some kind of self confidence issues that's causing you to not be able to love yourself properly? Facing those emotions, we've already talked about that. All right, and then we got allure, cherish. Cherish the beauty that attracts you. Have you been too busy to appreciate the good things around you? Take time to enjoy and value the moments and people that bring you joy. We talked about that at the very beginning of the video. Cherishing those moments, cherishing those relationships, valuing what those people, places, or things bring into your life. Also, having the attitude of gratitude, cherishing the things that you have, being grateful for the knowledge you have, the health you have, the family, friends that you have. Acknowledging and understanding that not everybody has that. And being grateful for what you do have. Even if it may not be what you want or what you had planned. Going back to the talking about the letting go of control. You know, a lot of times we get these, big, beautiful plans in our mind of how our life is going to be or how things are going to play out. And when it doesn't happen that way, we can go into regret and shame and remorse and sadness. And ultimately, we're letting go of control, and forgiving yourself and others is the solution to that. All right, now we're going to pull from the Mystical Dream deck. Last time we got shoes, rabbit, mobile phone, and train. We got window on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Close on the cut. Don't be afraid to express your individuality, especially if that's in clothing. Wear what makes you happy, wear what makes you comfortable, wear what makes you feel good. But also, don't derive your confidence and your self-love from your clothing, from your belongings, from material things. Just use those things to express that. I hope that made sense. Oh, that card just bent. Ocean. Ocean represents the vast potential of your subconscious. It didn't come out, but it bent a little bit, so I at least wanted to acknowledge it. All right. Unlock the secrets of your dreams. That's way too many. Wolf, chasing, unicorn, boat, desert, gemstone, and lover. Don't ever chase a lover. Don't chase anyone for that matter. If they want to go, let them go. Because in all cases, if you chase someone that honestly doesn't want to be around you, it's just going to cause you pain in the long run to chase them. Chase yourself. Chase a better life. What is that? Ocean, floating, flying, and mountains. Wow. What do you do in the ocean? You float. How do you get over the mountains? You fly. Wow. All right. Ocean represents the vast potential of your subconscious. Dreaming of the ocean signals that you're tapping into a deep well of inner strength. It urges you to explore this unknown space, as doing so will unlock emotional fluctuations, reminding you to face your feelings with courage and gain control over them gradually. What were we just talking about? About your emotions, feeling them, expressing them, understanding them, getting a grip on them, so that you can let them go and move forward. It's hard, I know, and it doesn't happen all at once. That's impossible. And then we talked about it last time. You'll think that you're over something, that you've moved on, that you've healed, and then all of a sudden something comes along and triggers you. You know what I'm saying? And then it almost feels like the process repeats itself. But I can say one thing that I have noticed is the more that happens, the more I get triggered in a certain way, the more I'm able to understand that trigger and overcome that trigger, which for me is a pretty big deal. And I mean, it is for anybody, really. All right, then we got floating. Floating represents relaxation and freedom from physical constraints. In your dream, floating suggests that you are releasing burdens and entering a state of ease and flow. This dream encourages you to let go of your worries and allow yourself to move effortlessly through life. It signifies that you are finding your balance, embracing freedom, and finding inner peace in the process. Beautiful. All right, then mountains. Mountains symbolize high aspirations and significant challenges. Dreaming of mountains indicates you are on a challenging path, but possess the strength to overcome it. True victory lies not in reaching the peak, but in the growth. My feet are getting cold. In the growth of your will and resilience during the climb. The mountain encourages you to stay grounded, calm, and tackle obstacles one step at a time. We saw that in the angel numbers that we had last time. One step at a time. And what were we already talking about? Setting those small goals to accomplish a bigger goal. Then we have flying. Flying symbolizes spiritual evolution. I almost said evolution. It's why can't I say that word? I know that word and I can't say it. Elevation. Flying symbolizes spiritual elevation, freedom, and transcendence. Dreaming of flying suggests you're breaking free from limitations and reaching a higher state of awareness. It invites you to embrace freedom, release old restrictions, and pursue your dreams without fear. Flying opens new perspectives and endless possibilities, reminding you that there's much more to explore when you transcend your boundaries. What did I already talk about? About, embracing new things, stepping out of your comfort zone, a new hobby, a new venture, out with the old, in with the new energy. Definitely out here. All right, now we'll pull from Echoes of the Soul. Last time we got the Messenger's Chorus, the Reckoner, and the Maverick. All very strong masculine energy. All right. Echoes of the Soul. Wow. The Reckoner came right back out, along with Shadows of Reflection, number 11. So number 38 and number 11. We got the Clouded Mind, number 4 on the bottom of the deck. And the Crimson Veil, number 22 on the top of the deck. Lining up with our angel number 2222. We're going to go ahead and take that one. The Clouded Mind, it hasn't been that long since we saw that one. And what about the Reckoner coming back out? Number 38. What was that about? Let's see. Accountability, truth, self-reflection, personal responsibility, integrity, empowerment through honesty. So being honest with yourself, being honest with others, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read that whole thing because we had that one last time. If you want to hear the whole message, you can go watch the last video. A thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, a comment, any of the above would be great. Thank you for being here if you've made it this far. All right, then we had number 11, Shadows of Reflection. She looks like she's in deep thought. And notice how the red energy, she's sitting in a red chair. The light in this room is red, and it's also crimson in the name. So, all right, Shadows of Reflection, key themes: contemplation, inner turmoil, seeking clarity, emotional growth, and self-awareness. Message: your inner world, though sometimes clouded by shadows, is often a fertile ground for insight and growth. The weight of your thoughts may feel heavy now, but remember, it is only temporary. Within these shadows lie lessons waiting to emerge. By sitting with your emotions, allowing them to surface without judgment, and create space for clarity. Without judgment, you create space for clarity and transformation. Every shadow contains a gift of understanding if you are willing to receive it. The guidance. This card encourages you to honor the complexity of your inner world. Instead of resisting uncomfortable thoughts or emotions, approach them with curiosity and compassion. Shadows are not your enemy. They are reflections of the parts of yourself that crave understanding and integration. By holding space for these feelings, you open the door to profound insights and emotional healing. Remember, clarity often arises from the quiet moments when you allow yourself to truly listen to what your heart and mind are trying to say. Affirmation: I embrace the shadows within me as teachers through compassion and understanding. I transform them into wisdom and light. Actionable insight. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes today to sit quietly with your thoughts. Allow them to surface without trying to suppress or change them. Write down any recurring themes or insights that arise. Identify one small action you can take to honor or address what you've learned, whether it's seeking support, practicing self care, or simply acknowledging your emotions. Reflection. Shadows of reflection remind you that the process of introspection, though sometimes uncomfortable, is a powerful tool for self-discovery and emotional growth. By facing your inner turmoil with patience and compassion, you transform it into a source of clarity and strength. The shadows are not here to weigh you down. They are here to guide you toward deeper understanding and healing. What do you see in your shadows today, and how can embracing them help you grow? We have literally talked about everything pretty much that card just said. The introspection, going back to the hibernation energy that we were talking about, taking time to making time for that introspection, for that quiet time, for that breathing time, and giving yourself grace. Understanding and accepting that in reality, the healing process is never really done. So, but at the same time, we do eventually overcome certain things, and then we just start healing from the next thing. All right, then the Crimson Veil, 22. Key themes: secrets, transformation, stepping into your power, self-revelation, embracing authenticity, and inner fire. The message: the Crimson Veil hangs between who you were and who you are becoming. Wow. What did we talk about earlier about the before and the after, but then the middle, that transition? It shrouds you in mystery, not to obscure your truth, but to protect and nurture it as you grow. Beneath the veil, your inner fire burns brighter with every moment of self-discovery. This card invites you to shed the layers that no longer serve you and to step boldly into the power of your true self. Let the mystery of your evolution inspire and guide you. What did I talk about when I was talking about Shrek and the layers? Uh-oh. That's the first yawn. Sorry, guys. Where was I at? Guidance. This card signals a period of profound transformation. You may feel as though you are standing at a threshold, sensing the change within, but not yet fully understanding what lies ahead. The Crimson Veil urges you to honor this process of becoming. It is a time to release old identities, beliefs, or patterns that no longer align with your truth. Step into the fire of your potential, knowing that the uncertainty is part of the journey. Trust your inner power to guide you through the unknown and reveal the brilliance of who you are meant to be. The affirmation: I release what no longer serves me and embrace the truth of who I am becoming. My inner fire guides me with courage and clarity. Actionable insight. Identify one specific habit, belief, or pattern that feels misaligned with your current self. Choose a symbolic action to release it. This could be writing it down and burning the paper, decluttering a space tied to the old energy, or speaking your intention aloud. That makes me think about what I said earlier about the cord cutting. Then take one deliberate step toward embodying the version of yourself that you are stepping into. Reflection. The crimson veil reminds you that the transformation is not a single act, but an unfolding process. By embracing the mystery of who you are becoming, you step into your power and align with your deepest truth. The fire of your transformation is both your guide and your strength. What lies beyond your crimson veil, waiting to be revealed? How will you honor this transformative moment and step into your power? And okay, first of all, the 22 lines up with the angel number 2222, but also you got 1122, two master numbers. I'll put these up here. And then we did see the Reckoner as well. I'm going to put him back in there. Great words of advice. That was a very, I think that's the first time we've gotten that card. It may not be, but I think it is. The Crimson Veil. All right, now we're going to pull from Nature Seasons. Last time we got New Moon and Eagle, potential and transformation, and vision and foresight. We got dreams and guidance on the bottom of the deck, and depth and subconscious on the top as we're getting started. $57.57 on the timer when I looked. $57 breaks down to 12. 12. Wow. Whoa. Okay, so it was $57.57 on the timer. 5 plus 7 is 12. So $57.57 actually equals 12. Choices. Decisions, stability, caution, focus, future, priorities, and clarity. Wow. Okay. Nature Seasons. Freedom and change, the wind. We also have spring rain on the bottom of the deck, nourishment and renewal. We were talking about spring. And then full moon, illumination and completion. We have already had our full moon this month. The full moon was on the 4th of this month. I'd have to get my other calendar. Hold on. Let me see if I can find out when the full moon in January will be. I need to get me a new Farmer's Almanac. Yeah, because it's not on this calendar. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when the full moon is in January. I'll have to look that up later and see. All right. So what actually came out was wind. Freedom and change. Didn't we get a card about change? Employment change. A lot of, like I said earlier, out with the old, in with the new energy. The wind brings a breeze of change. Let go of past limitations and embrace the fresh air of new possibilities. Allow yourself to move freely with the wind, accepting life's changes and exploring new opportunities. Then nourishment and renewal, spring rain. Spring rain brings nourishment and renewal. Now give yourself a fresh start, whether it's physical rest or emotional healing. Allow yourself to rejuvenate. Use the energy of water to cleanse your tiredness and restore your inner drive. Natural water is the best for that, but it's a little late in the year to be doing that. That's something to do in springtime. All right, illumination and completion, full moon. Reflect on your achievements and give thanks for the growth and effort that brought you here. You may experience emotional release. This is a time to celebrate your results and let go of the past. That's been coming up a lot today. Really preparing for a new chapter. Feeling that pretty strong, you know. But I mean, that's that whole new year, new you energy. You know what I mean? So that's a common theme. But intermission. That being said, it is always a good time to look at life in that frame of mind. It's good to always be willing to release people, places, and things that no longer serve you so that new can come in. Not every person is meant to stay in your life forever. Just like not every situation or team collaboration is meant to last forever. It all has a purpose. There's a rhyme and reason for everything. Get the sage going up again. I love my new little burner plate. All right, now we're going to pull from the Affirmators deck. Self-help without all the self-helpiness. Last time we got unlimited potential. Everyone's a teacher. What did I say going back to the very beginning about, remembering the things that our passed over loved ones taught us so that we can share that knowledge with other people, and also being willing and open like a flower ready to bloom, willing to learn and willing to be taught. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons, I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you for playing your part and making me a better person. Indeed. Take those lessons and run with them. Going back, we talked about last time about somebody, don't let somebody live rent free in your head. All right, now we'll pull from Animal Allies, birds. Last time we got the wren. We got meadowlark on the bottom of the deck as we're getting started. Raven on the cut. That wanted to come out. Dove and seagull. Similar birds in some ways. I feel like that's what we need to take. We had goose on the bottom of the deck. Look at that, all white. Look at that, all white. All white birds. The dove and the seagull came out. Goose on the bottom, silky on the top, and they're all white. The bird of peace. Dove. The dove is the bird of peace. And we got that not last time, but the time before. Yeah. The time before. Interesting. White birds have white feathers. White feathers, back in like war times, white feathers, if you were a soldier and you were given a white feather, it was a sign of cowardice. So don't be a coward. Be brave. Push through the fear. Hope over fear. Ah, there it is. The Hunger Games. They say in that movie, and it's a proven fact, really, that hope is the only emotion that is stronger than fear. Which I think love probably is in that same category, but they say that in the Hunger Games. The president says hope is the only thing that's stronger than fear. Okay. Dove. Dove superpowers. Peace, harmony, love, maternal instincts, comfort, gentleness, spirituality, renewal, and compassion. Dove wisdom. Creating a peaceful, nurturing, clutter-free environment is a great step towards prioritizing mental and emotional health and safety. Inspiration for change, calm, and peace can be found in many places, including the mind. When Dove appears, look for ways you can spread goodness in your community, your heart, and the world at large. Very much lining up with our chakra affirmation, grace. Offering grace to yourself and others. Dove wants you to know this may be the right moment for a fresh start, but only you know that for sure. Have confidence in any little whispers you hear from inside your body, mind, and spirit. And then Seagull. Seagull superpowers. possessing strong survival instincts, mischief making, intelligence, adaptability, resourcefulness, bravery, there it is, being an unwitting connector between the living and spirit worlds. There's the bravery. I literally just talked about that. Seagull wisdom. Waiting for permission that may never come is sometimes harder than asking for forgiveness after the fact. One person's trash is often another's treasure. We got forgiveness already. When Seagull appears, look beneath the surface for hidden opportunities. Stay alert and keep your senses active. Take charge and dive bomb your desires. Seagull wants you to know it's a good moment to take flight. Do your best, and your best will multiply. It's okay to ask for what you need and for what you want. So, going back to what we talked about earlier about our goals, getting a clearer vision, knowing what you want, knowing what you need. Not being afraid to ask for help, but also not being afraid to step out there and get it on your own. Being brave, having courage. Don't be a coward. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. All right, now we'll get a stone and mineral card. Last time we got onyx and fluorite. Clarity, alignment, inspiration, willpower, strength, and protection. We got amethyst on the top of the deck as we're getting started. Explore the universe of gems and minerals. Red spinel, and I don't even know how to pronounce that. Chalcedony, Chalcedony. Equilibrium, steadiness, and fairness. Action, courage, and energy. Triple confirmation on the courage. Having courage, having faith, being able to push through the fear so that you can get the victory on the other side. Katniss in the Hunger Games showed a lot of courage in so many different ways. So many different ways. All right, now we'll pull from the Wandering Heart Oracle. Last time we got out of sight and out of mind. We had turquoise on the top of the deck and then hematite on the bottom of the deck with the minerals. Those are pretty well known minerals. Got honeymoon on the cut as we're getting started. All right, I'm going to change positions here. All right. Wandering Heart Oracle. Free expression. Look at that. Orgasm, number 13 on the bottom of the deck. And boundaries on the top of the deck, number 34. Free expression is number 16, which breaks down to a 7. Sounds like Charlie Brown Christmas on the radio. All right. Courage is one hell of a virtue. Look at that. That's 4 times with the courage. Or bravery, you know, however you want to word it. But, I mean, the same meaning nonetheless. Freedom and warrior. Oh, wow. And remember, we saw when we were doing the chakra wisdom affirmation, we saw warrior. It showed itself. This is an affirmation with this card. By pulling this card, you are being asked to remain faithful in your purpose and to hold yourself accountable by following through with the heavy matters that are on your heart. Now is the time to step out into the world in the exact form that your spirit yearns. Your mission looks considerably different than the majority of others. Anyone who is set up to go against the grain will inevitably face loneliness. So do not feel ashamed when you go through bouts of seclusion. What were we talking about with the hibernation energy? The influence that you have over those who look up to you and confide in you holds weight. You are being divinely escorted and assisted. Find peace in your body. Find peace for your mind. Power your way out of the never-ending obstacles. Be who you want to be. Easier said than done, I know. But overthinking can be damaging to the soul. Surely you are fighting a necessary fight. Appreciation cannot help you here. Although it can serve as a safeguard in some, not appreciation, apprehension cannot help you here. Although it can serve as a safeguard in some cases. Embrace who you are evolving into. Do not apologize for standing firm. If you are currently unfulfilled with who you are, take this time to find yourself. Find a reason to be happy. Make the necessary changes to feel free. Wow. Beautiful. Very beautiful message. And what did I say earlier about like not being afraid to express yourself? That we talked about that already, because I talked about what clothes you wear. Huh. See how stuff like it always comes back around, it always connects in some way, shape, or form. All right, now we're going to pull from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. Last time we got abundance, renewal, and victim. So going into this with courage, pushing through the fear, embracing your shadow, embracing your light, finding the balance, doing it with grace, doing it with gratitude, doing it with forgiveness, knowing that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and the Most High are always with you, that guardian energy. A lot of patience energy out here as well. Destiny. Wow. Then you got impatience on the bottom of the deck, followed by faith. And victim, which we just put back in there on the top of the deck. So, destiny, impatience, and faith. Don't be impatient. Be, what did I just say? I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. All right. Destiny is the one that actually flipped out. Together, we are stronger than alone. Black and white. The legend. Black and white are in heaven waiting to go back to earth yet again to complete their work. When they meet and fall in love, they learn that they will not be together on earth. In previous lives, their love was ill fated. They appealed to the council of great spirits who turned down their request to be together. But the great servant appears and grants their wish. Together, they accomplish greater things than they could have done alone. Inspiration. Take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Be willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire. Personal inquiry. What tools do I need to form my own destiny? Am I ready for my destiny? Key ideas. True love. Taking a stand. Positive omen. Radical thinking. Deep satisfaction. And ability to change. Keywords: love, pathway, and faith. And how interesting that faith was mentioned in that, and we also got the faith card. Black is the shade that demands to be taken seriously, as it absorbs all the colors. Black emits the warm, powerful energy of the protector. Unlike black, white is isolated. Together, they balance and create. You will be guided by your angels to what is best for you and all concerned. Wow. All right. Then we got Faith was on the bottom of the deck. Faith. Royal purple brick. I am more than I think I am. Inspiration. What frightens you is something much smaller than you know. If you are experiencing pain, holding on tighter will only worsen the situation. Your greatness awaits. Personal inquiry. I have a tremendous amount of personal magnetism. Am I willing to show myself? Am I willing to allow myself to shine? Key ideas: narrow focus, miracles all around, not following wise counsel, not accepting your gifts, using energy in a self defeating way. Keywords: gifts, muse, and fear. Look at that. Faith over fear. We are all wounded. Some wounds are recognized easily while others are not. Forge ahead and do not allow your pain to hold you back. You are meant to inspire others, and if you do not carry on, they will suffer. It is time to deliver your message. All right, and then we had impatience. Electric blue moon. If I don't take care of it, it'll never happen. Inspiration. Now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known, now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. What did I talk about at the very beginning about practicing the pause? Going back to angel number 1212, choices. Really thinking about the choices that you're making before you take action. Personal inquiry. Am I jumping the gun? If I am honest with myself, am I forcing something? Key ideas: scarcity thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience. Key words: unfolding, revelation, and success. So have faith, be patient. Your destiny is coming toward you. Having faith that you're on the right track. If you're not on the right track, Going back to the direction that we got with the Wild Offering Oracle. If I'm about to head the wrong way, please stop me. Your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, that guardian energy. Ask for clarity, practicing the pause, really taking time to think and process, observe, evaluate. Whatever word you want to use for that action, really making it important. You know, a lot of times, especially if it's something that we're excited about, we can kind of just jump all in when in reality we need to tip our toes in and test the water first. All right, now we'll pull from the Archangel of Fire Oracle. Last time we got Zadkiel, number 26, which breaks down to an 8. This too shall pass. Be patient, have faith. This too shall pass. Accepting things as they are, acknowledging what needs to be let go of, what needs to be embraced, trusting your inner knowing that you're going to make the right choices. Stick to it. Don't give up. Whatever dreams you have, aspirations you have, don't give up. All right. Archangel of Fire Oracle. Zachariel. We just had him. That's the peacock energy. We're going to put that back in and keep going. Not the last video, but the video before that, we had that. Because I talked about the golden egg. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the goose that laid the golden egg. And we did see the goose in the bird cards. Something about that could be significant. Eggs in general could be significant. Also, the peacock energy could be significant. That fell on the floor. Jophiel, 15, feminine energy. Pink roses, blue butterflies. Butterflies represent transformation. We've been talking a lot about transforming. This feels more like like an emotional transformation, maybe even somewhat spiritual. It doesn't feel like an actual physical transformation. But, I mean, it could represent that for some. Joy is her general message. The Archangel of Joy, Wisdom, and Beauty. Jophiel governs the yellow ray of illumination. Like the Irish lass in her card, she gives us the ability to add more gladness to our lives. She also helps us to learn and teach at the highest level, enabling us to find the answers to important questions, see the beauty in all things, and think more positively. She sets us on the right path to achieving spiritual enlightenment. She can help us to get organized and clear out our physical and emotional clutter, which can be a real help when you're tackling spring cleaning or trying to get to the bottom of any old stuck emotions. Visualize her bright yellow light pouring into you and your home like sunlight, and ask her to illuminate anything you no longer need. Picture this light filling any areas of your life where you feel unhappy or dissatisfied. Ask her to send this light into any dark corners to cleanse the space around you, your home, and your belongings. Unhappy memories you haven't been able to let go of and items you have ferried from home to home for years will likely seem less important. When you clear your physical clutter, it then becomes much easier to let go of any emotional clutter. So take unwanted items to charity shops so they can find a better home elsewhere. It's also a good idea to get involved in local car boot sales and clothing swaps. After all, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Where else did we read that? Where else did we read that? We read that somewhere else. I can't find where it's at, but that's the second time that's come up in this video. That might have been. I'm thinking it was the Seagull card. Yes. Seagull wisdom. Waiting for permission that may never come is sometimes harder than asking forgiveness after the fact. One person's trash is often another's treasure. And when I read that earlier, and I just thought of it again when I read it then, that saying better to ask forgiveness than permission. Wow. Jophiel can help to make this experience fun and uplifting rather than it feeling like a chore. When there is more space, you will see beauty around and within you. Afterwards, she will help you rid your mind of cluttered thoughts so you are more focused, calm, and most of all, joyful. Allow her yellow light to fill your mind and feel yourself relax. With all the extra space you create, you'll soon find that you're sleeping better, feeling happier, have more energy, and you'll feel super organized. Getting rid of old stuck energy alone helps you think more clearly. But when you ask Jophiel to help with this objective, it's like a light gets switched on inside your brain and you suddenly have new clarity to be able to see all the good things in your life. This brings more time to get outside and play. It ushers in joy and becomes a reason to celebrate all the good things about yourself and your existence. Jophiel's yellow ray shining in through your own crown chakra is like opening the shutters in a dark room to light up your life. Once again, referencing your light, her broad message: be joyful. Let go of your heavy physical and emotional burdens. Release your baggage. Allow new clarity and happiness to pour into your life. Then you can rise up out of the gloom and fly higher. And in the nature seasons cards that we got last time that we put away, we saw the joy. And that is the theme of her card, is joy. Remembering that grief and joy can coexist. That was the grief affirmation we got last time. All right, now we'll pull from the two mini decks. We'll start with the Animal Spirit Oracle. Last time we got Lizard, Sea Serpent, and Oyster. Animal Spirit Oracle. Wow. Nightingale, shut up. That again makes me think of Hunger Games, the Mockingjay. Oh wow, there was actually 5. Sea serpent came right back out. You got raccoon, mouse, fish, nightingale, and sea serpent. Okay, so because there is so many, we are not going to read the full cards. We'll just read the cliff notes. Mouse, detail oriented, small minded, nitpicky, and nervous. When in balance, organized, resourceful, and prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance a meaningful project. And then we got raccoon, talented, shadowy, in hiding. Once again, shadow energy. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive and starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work, new hobby, new side hustle, new project of some kind. We've seen that a lot here lately. All right, and then we got fish, restlessness, change of focus, lost in the current. When in balance, adaptable and travels well. When out of balance, distracted and changes mind often. To bring into balance, set a small goal and accomplish it. Once again, that small goal energy, setting smaller goals to accomplish a bigger goal. All right, and then the nightingale is air energy. So we had 2 earth, 1 water, 1 air, and 1 spirit. Nightingale, fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. When in balance, sings and speaks freely with kindness. When out of balance, shy and lump in the throat. To bring into balance, music. And then sea serpent, we won't read the whole thing. Sea serpent is associated with the 2nd chakra, which is the sacral chakra, represented by the color orange. A lotus of 6 petals. It's right below your belly button. Sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. Very much lining up with the guardian energy from the forest spirit deck. All right, now the herbal astrology oracle. last time. I knew we got 4 energy somewhere last time. We got number 4, Rue, protection. Rue. There's a movie or something that I've seen recently where one of the characters' names was Rue. I can't think of it right now. Tulsi wanted to show itself. Also called Holy Basil. One more. Herbal Astrology Oracle. Motherwort flipped over. Passion Flower wanted to show itself. Oh, look, and there was another one. Tobacco. 24 Tobacco Offering. 13 Motherwort Strength. And 43 Passion Flower Surrender. All wanted to show themselves. All right, we just want one. These have pretty long messages, so we just want one. Hibiscus, number 14. Joy again. Wow. And then 31, Cannabis Detachment. We got Palo Santo, Guardian, number 55 on the bottom of the deck. And then Gatu Kula, Higher Consciousness, number 17. All right, obviously we won't be able to read all those messages, but we'll at least read their cliff notes. But that's really still way too many. All right, number 17, Higher Consciousness. Sorry, guys, I was yawning. Hermit, Solitude, Soul Searching, Realization, Greater Knowing, and Enlightenment. Astrological Ruler, Mercury and Moon. Hibiscus, we're going to read because that was on top of these that fell out. Plus, it says Joy, and we have already had that with Jafel. So, all right, then we got 31, Cannabis Detachment. Detachment, deep contemplation, freedom from pain, body, inner calm, and immunity. Astrological ruler, Saturn and Neptune. And then Palo Santo is 55. Guardian, we already have Guardian energy out here from the Forest deck. Gifts from past lives, activating dormant gifts, connecting to the ancestors, guardian of the sacred, and the sacred trickster. Astrological ruler, South Node and Pluto. All right, and then our main card, 14, Hibiscus. Hibiscus makes a really good tea. Nectar, grace, once again, grace, going back to our 7th chakra, grace. Sensuality, beauty, divine feminine, nurturing, creativity, and abundance. Astrological ruler, Venus and Pluto. In ancient Egypt, hibiscus tea was commonly used to lower body temperature, as a diuretic and to treat heart and nerve diseases. In Africa, it was used as a gastrointestinal healer as it helped with constipation and liver support. In Hindu mythology, hibiscus is closely associated with the goddess Kali, the dark goddess of death, time, and change. Red hibiscus flowers are often presented as offerings to Kali, representing divine consciousness. In Mexico and Central America, it's called Flor de Jamaica and has been used to make healing juices for hundreds of years. Primarily used as a tea and poultice, hibiscus has been used in beauty rituals, particularly as a face wash, as it nourishes and tightens the skin. Central American midwives have used it during birth and post birth to tighten the uterus and assist with excess bleeding. Due to its astringent properties, a pulp of the leaves helps heal wounds and incisions. Hibiscus, ruled by Venus, embodies the power of the divine feminine, grace, beauty, creativity, and harmony. Venetian herbs are those that tone the cardiovascular system, reproductive system, the blood, kidneys, thyroid, and parathyroid. Hibiscus dissolves blockages in the first and second energetic centers, opening the channels at the base of the spine, reproductive centers, and lower back. Guidance. Like hibiscus, you emanate the essence of Venetian grace. You hold and cradle life. You are the nurturer. Your presence brings renewal and joy to others. Express your creativity to keep attracting this colorful energy back to you. Like the hummingbird, you are a creature of nectar, a conduit of divine love and joy. We saw the conduit energy somewhere else as well. Sharing your grace, your love, your joy with others, not just yourself. Goodness, excuse me. Intermission. My feet are getting cold again. All right, now we'll pull from Mary Magdalene and we'll be done. Last time we got the dove. There it is. I knew we got the dove somewhere. The dove. All right. Mary, Mary, full of grace, what advice can you give us today? Oh, wow, we got two. Ascension and the Cave of Eggs. The Cave of Eggs was actually in reverse, but we don't really go with that too much. Ascension. Farther up is further in. And then the Cave of Eggs, we exist in and with each other. Ascension is the one that was on top, so that's the one I'm going to read. These have pretty long messages, but knowing that I am you and you are me, and that makes we, and together me and you are a team. We are all connected. All right, Ascension is look at that. Ascension is number 22. That's triple confirmation on the 22 energy. And then Cave of Eggs is number 30. All right. It's such a wild and miraculous moment when we realize that the good has never been above or beyond or fully outside of us. It's such a wild and miraculous moment when we arrive at this truth that the great, big, unsayable love that is the good is actually right in this fleeting body, in this bramble of an ego, like an indestructible rose perpetually at bloom in the center of who we are. It's such a wild and miraculous moment when we realize that further up is actually further in. There's a legend that Mary Magdalene lived in a cave in the south of France. Look at that. The cave. What do you do in caves? You hibernate. A cave in the south of France on what is referred to now as Saint Bayam, the Holy Mountain. It is said she was lifted up 7 times a day from the cave to high above the cliffs of the Holy Mountain. We also got mountains. Artistic depictions of this legend have Mary lifted up physically by at least 4 angels. One way I used to distance myself from Mary's humanity was to imagine that this happened for real, that Mary was actually lifted up into the air by a bevy of angels. It was such a wild and miraculous moment when I realized that these angels met Mary from within her own heart, that the 7 times a day refers to the 7 powers of the ego, and the practice of recognizing and releasing them at least 7 times a day. For me, ascension happens by descending deeper into the truth of who we are. The angels lift us up when we forget that the good is not distant, above and beyond us, as if the good is way, way up there in heaven, too high for us to reach in these lowly human forms. The angels lift us up and remind us that the good has always been right here within and among us. The good is what we are and what we do. The good exists not on a vertical, but on the horizontal. We are eye to eye with the angels, not below or beneath them. The good is what's present right here within. Yes, heaven too. Farther up is further in. The soul voice meditation. What happens when I remember that the good is right here within me? The attitude of gratitude, grace, humility, confidence, steadiness. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any way possible that you could fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it could have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.